Okay, welcome back to CPM. There. That should be good for the combination of having our music. My voice is probably going to sound a bit quiet, but I don't really give a fuck. We are doing Le Mans. Yes, I am showing you guys how to make 1,000 gold every day. Yeah, let's just start with that. I'm showing you guys how to make 1,000 gold every single 24 hours. First, we're gonna be doing this with our Senna. You can do this with any car. Someday, all our some days will be Mondays. I recommend doing it with a U class because it's faster. Not the car itself. It's a time duration thing. Jesus, my oil is way low. I normally don't let it get down like that. First, I'm just gonna show you guys. This Senna is nothing special at all. I am not cranked out of the world to 2 million horsepower. It's a very custom Senna, as you can see. Very, very custom. It's a state patrol. My own custom design, yes. I have the 720 and the P1 to go with it. And I have the Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren, also done up as State Patrol. The P1 and the 720 are on my second account right now. We may end up making a third account because we need storage. Oh, Perk's messaging me. Sweet. Just replying to Perk quickly and letting him know what we're doing. So you go to race modes to make your 1,000 gold a day. You go to race modes, do racing tracks, do Le Mans, and you can make well, the budget applies to anywhere. So you can run any of these until you reach 1,000 gold coins, and then it caps. Once it caps, it will uncap in 24 hours. Okay? So once this goes to 1,000 out of 1,000... Actually, let me be more specific. The 500 that's up there right now, that 500 resets in 24 hours from when that 500 was first made. And then the second 500 will also reset in 24 hours from when it's made. So there's going to be 30 minutes, or whatever duration of time in between the two runs you have. If you're running U-Class, you get paid 500 per win, right? But if you're running something like D-Class, you're only making 400. B-Class, you're only making 300. B-Class is the lowest. C, no, that's D-Class again. C-Class gives you 350. 300 is the lowest. So, at bare lowest, like absolute lowest, it only takes 4 runs. Now, that does add up to 24 times 4, that's how many minutes, I'm pretty sure, just shy of 2 hours, to simplify that. Because it's... Sorry, I'm terrible at math. It's 48 minutes per 2 runs. So that's an hour and a half, just over. It's like an hour and 50 minutes, roughly. If you do U-Class, it only takes 2 runs, because it pays you out 500 gold per run with U-Class, which is why I'm running U-Class. But also note, the AI gets slightly more and more difficult as you go up from class to class. Off the start, right now, they're not programmed perfectly. They are better than they used to be. They used to be absolute dickheads that would not care about what line you were taking or anything. So just replying to Perk quickly before we enter into this. Off the start, one guy is, well, they're pretty aggressive off the start, but once you get to the first corner, they tone down real quick. Yeah, we'll let them run off. Did you see how that guy on the left, I think it was the LaFerrari? It's always the LaFerrari when I'm running Class U. You see how he cut right in front of us? I'll show you what happens. I'll show you what happens if we take off normally. So I'm about 75 to 80% throttle. Bam! Sideswipes the shit out of you, and he does it every time. Every single time. Every time. That's just the programmed line he has to take off on for some reason. Even if I move over. See how so like there was maybe half a foot between me and him, and I almost fucking biffed that pole. So just let him go. Just let him go. Look at that. Look at how wide that shit is, man. Like that's the terrible part. But they take off, and they tone back by the first corner. Perk said he just does the first track, and he gets 100 gold every 3 minutes. So let's calculate that to 1,000, that's 30 minutes, that's not bad. There is an AFK way to do this. And I'm not going to show it specifically, but I will give a little tip as to how. The AI traffic do yield to you. See how that Bugatti didn't rear-end us, and he moved his line to go around us? If they're not able to move their line to go around you, they will stop. So let's see if we can just kind of block them off. They're super slow at many parts too. So it's actually quite easy to get in front of them, and ow! Well, that was fucked up. Normally they don't hit you, and definitely your car should not roll over like that. Fucking hate that guy, damn it. I hate that guy. He's a dick. He's a dick. For some reason, it's always a LaFerrari. I don't know if the name changes. Okay, sure, because that's how that works. You lightly make a little bit of contact with someone, and it's just a full spin out. Uh-huh. totally. There are very much so irritating parts of this, but when you AFK grind it like I do, which me just going over this might end up with it being patched. I hope it doesn't. But I will try and show it without showing the spot that I use specifically, because the spot I use will most definitely count as an exploit. If I can get in front of you and block you to a stop. No! And then that guy goes around. If you can get them blocked off, they will all come to a stop. And if you can get them to all come to a stop, well then it's just a matter of who reaches the finish first when the timer expires, isn't it? Yes, it is. I know for a fact that that is exactly how it is. So if you can find a spot where you can block them, which there is many, any corner that they try to take inside line, really. Right there. That's a good spot. I've never done this spot, but... Look at that. Look at that. Right, so if you're able to block them and get them all to come to a stop, you can just sit here, watch Netflix, watch TV, listen to music, do whatever else. Fucking set your phone down, go do some chores. If your screen goes dark, you're in a single player mode. You can reopen, and I've never had it exit out of the game or anything, or exit out of the race. I've always had it open, take a few seconds, and then the timer starts to continue again. So you shouldn't have to worry too much about your phone falling asleep or any of that. The other guys must still be at the spot where there was that wreck where we tried to block them off on the earlier corners. Not sure if they're going to recover from that. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes after blocking them off like this, they'll just sit here. Even if you take off, they'll just sit here because they'll think that there's something still in front of them. I don't know. The way they have it programmed is really interesting. I hope they don't change it, because right now my life is easy. Your life is easy regardless. Whether you actually have to race them or not, I'm not struggling to get ahead of them. I'm not even pushing very hard. I'm not trying at all. They're very easy to beat. So, they suck at cornering. They blast away from you on the straightaways because they have insane amounts of horsepower. For some reason, 90% of the community of car parking multiplayer likes to just crank horsepower out the ass. I think that's pretty bullshit. Like, you know, you don't need that much power. It's just going to make your engine wear down faster. It's not going to do much for you either. The most powerful car I've ever built is that Bentley that we built for NOS. And the only reason that's super powerful is because I know that NOS wanted it that way. So, my own Bentley, I have a Bentley, you guys have seen it many times, my Rally Bentley, it's running the factory V12, and it's not that powerful at all. It's less powerful than this Senna is. I don't own any cars that are over 1,000 horsepower. I don't think I have anything that even comes remotely close to 1,000 horsepower, because ever since I retuned the Demon, not the Demon, the Hellcat, I feel like I just heard one of them bump up or something like that. I don't know, it trips me out sometimes. I have had this glitch out sometimes where you'll sit here and then you'll take off and you'll go across the finish and it won't register you crossing the finish. And it'll just put you into a second lap when the timer's already expired. And then you have to restart the whole thing. But when you're AFK grinding it like this, is that really a problem? Like, let's think about that. When you're just sitting here doing nothing, are you really gonna complain? Like, you didn't do anything, you know? So, yeah. This is not the corner that I normally use. I normally do not block them off on this corner. I will tell you guys the corner I blocked them off on, but we're not going to actually do it. This left turn right here. This left turn, I normally sit on the left curb and I park my car sideways, because they always dive to the inside, and I normally sit on that curb. And I park my car sideways so that they can't go by. Sometimes they'll try to go into the dirt and go around you, so I always keep it ready to go into reverse or to pull forwards in case they try to go around me on either end. But the premises of it is, if you can find a way to block them off to get them all to a stop, well then you're sitting in first place just waiting for the timer to expire, and then you literally just cruise to the finish line like we're doing now, except our timer's not expired. So you would just sit there and wait for the timer to go out, and then take off, which is what I do. So we're going to continue and actually drive the rest of this Le Mans because I want my extra 500 gold done. That way I have this Le Mans done. And we're actually going to be doing some car X with Perk. So long as Perk is still up for it when we finish this. I imagine he will be. But that is how, yeah, there's still this guy. Can I didn't want to rear end the shit out of him. Can I give you a bump start? Will you? Nope. Can't give you a bump start. Well, I tried. I'm sorry for you, buddy. My bad. Sorry to you as well, my bad. Oh my, that's my fuck up. Whoopsies. Anytime you get sent into the dirt like that, where you're like sent far off into the dirt, and you know that you're going to take more than 3 seconds to get out of the dirt, hit the 2 road button. Because you're going to rack up so much penalty in that dirt, because it will give you penalty for every inch that you are moving in that dirt. And trust me, you will gain far more than what you would gain in penalty if you were to just hit the 2 road button and reset like we did. Something that would be nice, one of the things that irritates me is driving with the broken windows. I hate staring at my car looking at a damaged vehicle because it doesn't look good. It would be nice if in our pits we had an option to repair the car and not just refuel and replace tire. Because right now, those are the only options you get. Here, we'll hit the pits and I'll show you. You don't have to worry about competing with these guys. They suck at cornering. Look how much they slow down for that turn. It takes them 5 years just to get around it. So yeah, they blast away from you on the straightaway, but that's their only advantage. And when there's more than 10 corners... Actually, I don't know. Is there 10 corners? Something like that. We can replace tires. We can refuel. We can take our diddly-doddly ass time.
Good stop. Get back to pace.
We can even follow pits regulations and stay under 100 kilometers an hour. And even take the proper pit exit road and everything, and I'm not worried about it. Accelerate. You could hear him trying so hard. By the way, that little gap on the left here, I'll show you on our next lap. You can take that little cut on the left and just not do that right. Sorry I'm a little not perfect with my lines. I am driving with one hand most of the time here. I know this track like the back of my hand. This is based off of a real life racetrack, by the way. Woo! Ah, my bad. I'm just gonna quickly Google that to make sure. I'm pretty sure it's based off of Silverstone Raceway, but I'm just going to back check that really quick. Silverstone Circuit. Yes, I swear to God. Ah! Yes. Yes, this is 100% based off of Silverstone Raceway. So if you go right at this turn, if you were to go right there, that would be running Silverstone Raceway layout. You go right, and then it hooks another hard right 90 and then a left hairpin. That will put you on Silverstone layout. And it'll actually, like, it's actually a really nice layout to run. I really like Silverstone. And I believe it connects you back here. I believe. I could be mistaken. If you look up Silverstone Raceway, you will see exactly how this is a spit image copy of Silverstone Raceway with white differentiation. Or not even. I think this is actually a full spit replica. Based off of what I'm looking at on Google here, as I'm looking at photos. Yeah. See, it's paved, so it doesn't classify that as dirt. Wow. That was my fault, 100%. I don't know why there's cones there for that pit road. Those cones we just hit, those are blocking the pit road for the pits on our right here. On the right. So, the reason why I know Silverstone Raceway is... I'm sure I've run it in other games, but... probably long times ago. My furthest memory of what I remember of Silverstone Raceway comes from Roblox, actually. It comes from Project Track Day on Roblox. And in there, you start at the second pits there that's actually blocked off by those cones we just hit. And it's a wonderful layout. Absolutely wonderful. They run the main route, which is not the route that we run. The main route is the route where you take that right that I was telling you guys about. Okay, we're gonna return to driving with two hands for the sake of not dying. Partly. Hold on. Nope. We're just gonna continue racking up super insane penalties. So, might as well reset. Shave off some time here. Return to two-handed driving. Yeah, so the main layout would be to turn right. If you were to go out from these pits on our right, they would send you out to the road on the right. And that, I believe, that's the main layout that is run at Silverstone. I've never been to Silverstone in real life. However, from my understanding of what I'm looking at from Googling it and seeing the track layout through Google, the main layout would be the one that I'm describing, where you would take that right. Oh my god. That's starting to become a piss off, going into the dirt, and it's like... most of it is my fault. But that one there, that was just pure understeer. Like, we shouldn't have understeered for that, at all. This car has insane handling, insane downforce. Surprisingly, its center of gravity is extremely high for what it is. You can tell just by the body roll. I've done what I can do to keep it lowered to the ground to not have it roll. Because this is a state patrol car. I did not tune this for running at the track. Even if I were to run this at the track, if I were to take it to a place like Nürburgring, it would probably give me some troubles. I've taken it to the Nürburgring. I've run a sub 610 with it on my second lap at the Nürburgring. It's only ever done 2 laps at the Nürburgring. I've never done a 3rd lap in this at the Nürburgring. I know for a fact I could get this car to hit sub 6s at Nürb without any issues. And I'm under 1,000 horsepower. I don't know of a single player in CPM, at all ever, that can run sub 6s with under 1,000 horsepower, not in a Formula car. The Formula car, it's a Formula car. What do you expect? See, there's my high center of gravity bullshit I'm talking about. It doesn't matter how much you lift this car off the ground, it would not do that in real world. You would have to lift this car off the ground so far that it would be a monster car. Like, you would monster jam with this bitch in order for it to roll like that. So, again, we don't have the best of physics here, which is why we're going to run CarX when we're done here. Because CarX doesn't have things like that. So CPM devs definitely need to work on our center of gravity. As you could see from just that right bend there, it was trying to 3-wheel. Like, everybody knows that a hypercar should not be doing that. Anybody with any kind of common mechanical knowledge of vehicles would understand that. Even most general vehicle enthusiasts who don't have an understanding of mechanical knowledge understand that's not right. Just, like, you don't have to be a professional to know when something's wrong. You know, like, I am not a pilot, I am not a helicopter technician, but if I saw a helicopter in a tree, I could still be like, that guy fucked up. You know, I would still know that something definitely went wrong if I saw a helicopter stuck in a tree, right? You don't have to be an expert to know that something went wrong, right? So, no, I'm not an expert on mechanics, I'm not a technician or anything like that, but I very much so know that a hypercar such as this one shouldn't be doing 3-wheeling type stuff or rolling over like it is. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist, you know? I think after the example I've just given of helicopter stuck in a tree, I'm pretty sure we can all come to that conclusion. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. I'm pretty sure we can all come to the conclusion that if we saw a helicopter stuck in a tree, all of us would be like, hey, I don't think that's right. You know? I think that's a pretty common analysis. See, right there's a good example of how the AI aren't nearly as aggressive as they used to be. They used to just straight up murder you. But right there, he backed off. When my line cut in front of his, he backed off, which is good. It's exactly what you would want to see. Because in real world, if someone were to cut in front of you, you would most likely try to avoid hitting them, right? Whether they're in the right or wrong for cutting in front of you, it doesn't matter. You would still try to avoid it. 95% of people would, at least. I'm sure there are some people that would be like, you know what, fuck you. I don't care. But 95% of people would be like, no, I'm going to try to avoid that. I don't want to be in a collision. I don't want to have to repair my car. Especially in real world, especially when you're in such a high-value vehicle like this one, or like the Bugatti that the person behind us was in. So it's a massive repair build, and it can be a very massive collision in terms of damages to person, to you and your potential passengers. There could be severe injury and possible fatality in many wrecks like that, especially multiple vehicle collisions. I will say they did pretty good with the active aero. I can give them credit for that. But we'll be wrapping up pretty soon here. I went to open Discord, damn it. Hopefully we can actually still get first, depending on how many penalty... I shouldn't have that much penalty that he would be able to get me. I should be A-okay. It would be nice if it displayed my penalty somewhere. But it doesn't. Not that I know of. The back and forth of going left and right, that's not me. That's just the hypersensitive steering of how bad the hypersensitivity is here. I've informed the devs about that multiple times. They don't seem to care. So, for anybody who wants to run tilt, it's just something you have to deal with, and it's really just a load of bullshit. Just like that curb there, spitting us out, even though it's a flat fucking curb that our tire allegedly hit, even though we have more rubber than rim. Yeah, just, you know, completely unlogical bullshit that we have to deal with at a constant. Ooh, 147 was the best lap time. Can we beat that? We can beat that. I know we can. We're gonna go pretty hard on this lap, which our tires aren't gonna hold up. I'm not gonna take the cut. I want to actually beat that lap time. Which is going to be really difficult with the shape our tires are in. They're trying to slip constantly. Like, it wants to spin out so badly right now. Oh my god, it's so terrible with the hypersensitivity. I try to brake in a straight line, it's just constant left, right, left, right, left, right. That's just how bad the sensitivity is. And look, settings, controls. Oh, steering sensitivity is way down at 0. Like, I cannot get my sensitivity to go any lower. It's not possible. And when we get back to the garage, I'll show you the actual suspension settings in this car have the steering dialed back to the minimal angle possible to reduce that sensitivity even further, as far as I possibly can. And it's still so insanely sensitive that I cannot brake in a straight line. And that's not just a thing for me, it's a thing for everybody. Chucky doesn't use tilt steering because his reasoning is his hands are too shaky. I don't think it's a your hands are shaky problem. I think it's a CPM steering is way hypersensitive type problem. Even with the spin, we still set a better lap time. Aww. That's okay, we'll take the cut. We'll shorten this lap as much as we can. We finished just 2 seconds before the timer expired, which put us into an extra lap. Put us into overtime, but that's okay. It puts everybody else into overtime too. Feel bad for that P1 and the other guy, I think it's Bugatti, that they didn't even get to finish lap 1. We ended up kind of taking them out. Jesus, that lag. The lag and then the spin, and it's like, the physics aren't good. I will say that. Our physics are horrible. When it comes to realism, our physics are not realistic at all. They are very much arcadey out here. I tune my cars to get as close to realism as I can, but obviously I am limited by the system. The system itself is arcadey. And it's kind of sad because, you know, these devs have been around for more years than I can count. I say that I've been playing for 6 years, but I know that I've been playing for longer. I just know that I can count 6 for sure. So that's what I count. But there's our 1,000 gold payout, and that is how you make your 1k gold a day. That was really hard on our tires. I was really rough on our tires that round. Again, you can, as I showed, you can AFK that entire thing if you want to. I recommend AFKing it because it's just, why put in the work if you don't have to? Other than if you want to type thing, like if you're in the mood for just running against AI and just driving out on the track, then yeah, rip it. But I prefer to make my gold passively. For a second I thought that was a design flaw there. But no, that's just the way shit's modeled in. Anybody who can see what I'm seeing, on the door by that little vent on the bottom skirt there, it looks like it's white, but it's actually just the reflectance of the light. Yeah. And I've been refining my carbon fiber, and it's actually very, very close to what the developers are having for their carbon fiber. If you look, hey, get in the focus. I didn't tell you to go back into that. It's almost on par equal. Theirs is a little bit of a finer grain. I've been working on refining my grain, but maybe my i7 might come closer. I need to refine the grain on this a little bit, because when you look at it from here, you can see how it looks like some of the lines are a lighter shade than others. That's just the scaling. It does, not all of the pixel counts are equal. Which, that's not any fault of mine. Trust me, all of those lines are all the exact same lines. They're all the exact same color, but the pixel count isn't equal per spacing. So there's nothing I can really do about that, except I can move where my pixels are to reduce how much of the pixel count unevenness there is. But I am very limited on what I can do for that. But that is how you AFK grind the Le Mans. Go to start, go to racing modes, go to racing tracks, and the Le Mans, if you do 2 Le Mans in a Class U, and you can AFK grind these. You can't AFK these. Well, I mean, you can, if you follow the same theory. No, you can't. No, you can't. You can't, because it's a lap count, not a timer. This is a timer. This is a lap count. Lap count, lap count. So you must race. You must drive these. There's no exception. You can't AFK them. This? I watch fucking Netflix while I complete this shit, okay? So, for all of you who are going, oh, track 1, 2, or 3 is easier, bull fucking shit. Because you have to drive that. I fucking Netflix this motherfucker. So, no, it isn't easier. Because you're not fucking Netflixing that shit. I am. Okay? So, yeah, my shit does take longer. But I'm not doing anything. So no, it doesn't. You put in far more work than I do. I just press start, go park on a corner and watch Netflix. Okay? You have to drive those laps. Over and over and over again until you reach 1,000 gold. I go park on a corner twice and watch Netflix. Okay? So, no, it is not easier to do track 1, 2, or 3. And this is not a shot at Perk or anybody in specific. It's just what I've been told by so many people over and over. Anytime I mention that I do Le Mans, everybody's like, oh, track 1, 2, or 3 is faster. Track 1, 2, or 3 is easier. No, it's not. It's faster. It's not easier. You have to do 100% of the work. I do 2% of the work when it comes to Le Mans. I literally drive to the corner I want, I park, and I wait for the timer to expire while I watch fucking Netflix, okay? I can go do chores, I can go do laundry, I can go do the dishes. Often that's what I do. I often watch Netflix or watch YouTube while I'm doing the dishes, and I press start, I park on a corner, and I go watch Netflix or YouTube while I do dinner dishes. And I get my Le Mans done without even doing them while doing other things, so it doesn't even take up time out of my day. I'm just doing what I would be doing regularly and getting it done passively. Like, this is the equivalent of sitting in a server, letting your phone sit overnight just to get the businesses to generate you money. I used to do that. I used to sit in a single player server. I used to sit in single player, and I'd let the businesses generate, and I'd just let my phone sit there overnight. That way in the morning I could go collect 400k from all of the businesses. Well, 50k from each business, which adds up to 400 because there's 8. So, yeah, no. I've 100 got everything down to the point that I don't have to do work for my gold. My gold works for me. All of you, everybody else is out here working for their gold. My gold is working for me. So, you know, you guys be the judges for your own shit of what's the better method for making gold. If you're really concerned about getting your gold 30 minutes sooner than what I get my gold, go for it. You run your laps. I don't give a fuck about 30 minutes. That's just an episode of an anime on Netflix. Literally, I just chill, watch any anime. I've watched a few animes. Dr. Stone, Jujutsu Kaisen, Hell's Paradise, far more than I can think of others. Animes that aren't on Netflix that are really good is Sword Art Online. That's a really, really good one. Soul Eater is a really good one. I'm not sure if that one's on Netflix still or not. There's many animes that I really, really like. I'm a guy that can watch the same anime over and over and over again, and I just alternate between different animes. Like, I can alternate just between Rurouni Kenshin, Jujutsu Kaisen, Dr. Stone, and Hell's Paradise, and I'm satisfied. Rurouni Kenshin is really good. All of these animes that I'm listing are really good. In my opinion, at least. I know everybody has their own take on it. But the point is, I'll do my shit by not even doing my shit. I literally just sit there, I do something else. And I let my Le Mans complete itself. And I make my 1000 gold that way. So, that's how you complete the Le Mans. That's how you AFK the Le Mans. And try to keep this on the down low. Like, I know I've already kind of just made it entirely exposed and hot by making this video. But I'm not going to put the AFK part into the title. I'll put it in the description. But if you're going to explain this method to other people in public servers, in-game and that, try and make sure that you keep it on the hush side, because it would be very easy for the developers to go, hey, people are getting their gold by AFK completing the Le Mans. We're gonna make the AI not stop for you, and then the AI go back to being aggressive, and then you're forced to drive the Le Mans because they won't stop for you. So, try to somewhat keep this, you know, a little on the hush. That way, we can continue doing the AFK grinding, because I very much enjoy being able to set my shit to give me gold and watch Netflix while I do dishes, because I'm a man that actually has other shit he has to do, and I'm sure many other of you have shit that you need to get done as well. So it's quite nice when you can set your thing to give you your 500 gold after 24 minutes and go do whatever else you need to have taken care of, because we all have lives outside of the game, right? So, try and keep that bit of respect to hinder the devs from taking this away from us, because it would suck for them to take this away from us, because it's really nice to have, and the only reason for them to take it away would be for us to have to work for it. And here's the thing. You are working for it, because you have to come up with a spot to block them off. You have to make sure that you block them off correctly and you don't let any get around you and that they all come to a stop. And you have to find out about it. If you don't know of the method, you don't know of the method, right? So there is a level of work that you have to put in. You have to come up with the idea to do it in the first place, and then you have to actually do it while blocking them all off, which, as you can see, took us a little bit to do without us doing it on the corner that I am used to doing it on. So for a new timer, it does take a bit of work to set this up. It takes a little bit of finesse to get the AFK grind set up and to get it down pat so that you're getting your AFK grind perfect every time. And again, sometimes it doesn't register you in first place when the timer expires and you end up having to restart. But if you're AFK grinding, that's not a big deal. And I've only had it happen to me when I'm AFK grinding. So it's just like, oh well, just reset it and watch another episode of whatever you're watching on Netflix, or go watch half of a movie, whatever. You do something while you let the timer expire, you know? Set it up, let it play out, and boom, done. But try to keep a bit of decency, to keep this on the hushier side of things. If the devs do take it away, they take it away, and that is what it is. But I would really hope that they don't, because it does take effort to go through the setup of, and it 100% takes a smart thinker in order to come up with the idea to do it in the first place, which I am calling myself a smart thinker because nobody told me about this. Nobody told me how to AFK grind the Le Mans. Nobody told me to grind the Le Mans in the first place. Nobody told me shit about how to make money in this game. I had to learn that all for myself. And it was a bitch. It really was. The other thing is, you get cash from Le Mans too. Now, I only grind for the 1,000 gold. The cash is a byproduct for me. That 400k, I make that in 3 hours. If you own all of the businesses, each business pays you 50,000. It stacks and caps at 50,000. As you should be able to see from our business here, it should be at 50k. I find it interesting how it despawns our light bar and then respawns our light bar for doors opening like that. Yeah, 50k, right? So, you can collect from this. It stacks and it caps. So, I can exit the game completely, clear it off of my phone, power my phone off, fully exit the game. And this will still be here unless I collect it. Once you collect this 50k, you can then watch it rack up, and it goes at this exact rate so long as you are in a server. Okay, so if we go back to our garage, it stops and it will pause and it will hold. So right now it's at 84. The exact second we enter back into a server, that count will continue. So now it's going up again. Even though we're not there watching it, now it's going up. It doesn't matter if you're in a single player server or in a multiplayer server. It will count and continue to count until it reaches 50,000 or until you leave the server. So, this is what I mean by I used to set my phone up overnight and just sit in a server to let the cash rack up, and then I'd collect from it in the morning. You can still do this. If you set your phone so that it doesn't go to sleep right away, you can 100% pop into a server, collect all of your cash from your businesses before you go to bed, and let your phone stay up and rack up the money, and then in the morning you have 400,000 to collect. Now, for I have calculated this. For the time rate, this is not a specific calculation, this is what I have experienced. So this is 100% factual. Okay, but you might end up, if you were to calculate the exact money per second, you might end up making your full 400,000 sooner, or full 50,000 sooner than this time estimate I'm about to give you. What I have done, I have collected and stayed in server all day, okay? So you can go and you can collect, and in 3 hours after collecting, you will be at 50,000 again. So you can grab 50,000 every 3 hours of server time. But you have to be in server, because it stops when you go back to your garage. So, every 3 hours, if you own all 8 of the businesses, not everybody is familiar with where the businesses are, I'll show you. I'll go in the order of the ones I purchased first. It doesn't matter, they're all going to pay you the same, they all cost 200,000. I bought the mountain one first, I bought the desert one second, which is here, and then I bought the city one here, and then there's one in city 2 here. It's not marked anymore, but there is a business here, okay? And then you go all the way down here. This is a business. There's one there. The one that's here is actually right here. It's on this left side here. Not in that green building. It's actually on the left there. You'll see it if you go there. Then there's this one here. And then there's this one here, which I like to refer to as the Starbucks because it reminds me of Starbucks for some reason, even though I've never been to a Starbucks. Yes, I have never been to a Starbucks. And then there's one here. So there's 3 in City 2, 4 technically. There's one here. One here, which this is the original City 2. Before this expansion of the side of the map all the way over here, this is Nürburgring. Before the tropics were added, before City 2 was added, this tiny town was added. They never named this town, they never gave a spawn for this town. They gave a house, and eventually they gave a business. And then they expanded into Japan. Like, that town was there before Japan was there. Okay? So, that's old shit. I'm old shit. That town was there before that racetrack was there. And then up here is Italy, our most recent map expansion. That came the start of July, I think. So yeah, that's where all the businesses are. There's one in the mountains here, one in the desert here, the one in the city here, the one in the small town here in this gas station. It's right about, right there, approximately. Okay, that one's hidden. The one on the highway here is right here. This one's also hidden. I say hidden because it's not marked on the map. And then there's this one, this one, this one, and this one. So that's all 8 of the businesses. If you spend 3 hours on a server, they will max at 50k. You can go collect from all of them. That's 400k every 3 hours of server time. Okay? That's pretty good money, right? For anybody who needs money, put it this way. If you buy, each business costs 200,000. If you go and you play levels, like if you're a new player, you go play levels and you get to 200,000, you buy that mountain business, that is only 12 hours in order for you to get the next mountain business. And then it's only 6 hours for you to get the next, or not mountain business, but the next business. And then it continues racking up and racking up and racking up, right? So you collect from it 4 times and it's already paid itself off. Well, that's not bad. Say you play three hours a day. That's only 4 days, and the business has paid itself off entirely, without you doing any work. Just by you playing the game. Just by you driving around in a multiplayer server or in a single-player server. 3 hours of server time is all it needs for it to hit max 50k, and then you collect from that. And it pays itself off after 4 collects. You collect from it 4 times and it pays itself off fully. There's your 200,000 back. And then it continues to pay you forever. So it pays itself off really, really quickly. And then you have money for tuning and upgrades. Okay. And now, you go, you do your daily Le Mans, you get your 1,000 gold a day. Okay? And you might go, okay, well, I want to spend that on a car right away. Okay, I can understand that. But I want you to understand something else. Go to your daily rewards here. Day 7 will always give you a 500 gold car. Always, always, always. 500 gold every time. Day 14 will always give you a 1,000 gold car. Every single time, 1,000 gold. Without exception, 1,000 gold. So, this FK8 Honda Civic and this S13 Nissan Silvia, I paid 500 gold for each of these. However, I could have waited for my weekly rewards to reset until I got them for free from the weekly rewards. So if you're really not wanting to pay for a car, if there is a 500 gold or a 1000 gold car you like that you wouldn't mind having, but you don't want to buy, you can simply wait and eventually it will come around. Eventually, you will see it because you are guaranteed to get a 500 gold car or a 1000 gold car when those reset. You might end up getting repeats sometimes, but here's the thing. People are selling these kinds of cars. In fact, we'll hop in the Focus and we'll go into a multiplayer server quickly, and we're gonna see city, the main city, city 1. This is city 1. If you come up to the sales lot in city 1, there's almost always something selling. If there's not, you can leave the server and go into a new one, and you'll more than likely find something selling. Everybody's going to flaunt over this and want it. See, there's things selling at a constant. 500 gold car, right there, selling for 1.4 million, which is actually pretty low compared to what most 500 gold cars are trying to be sold for. If you were to sell it for the in-game price, when you collect it from the weekly rewards, daily rewards program system, you have the option to place it to your slot or to sell it for $62,500. Why sell it for $62,000 when you could place it to a slot, take it into a multiplayer server, and sell it for $100,000, and you'd be making basically double what you would get paid just for insta-selling. So unless you literally have no space, you might as well accept it and take it into a multiplayer server and try and sell it for at least 100,000, because even that, you're at least getting an extra 50k, right? So it's worth it. Well, an extra 40k, but still, you know, why settle at only 62.5 when you know that someone will buy it for 100,000 flat, guaranteed? Something else I should mention. For all new players, on your very first week, your first and second week, you will get the Mercedes CLS and the Ram 2500. Okay? So, right here, this is the Mercedes CLS. Okay? This is what you will get for vehicle 1 on day 7. I believe. I'm pretty sure you get this first and then the Ram 2500 second. My CLS, I will be doing up into a State Patrol car eventually when I get around to it. I do not recommend selling them. Do not recommend selling them. Here is why. Hold on. This is my Ram 2500. It is done up as State Patrol. Looks fabulous. Even without it being done up as State Patrol, I really like my Ram 2500s. I quite like my Mercedes as well. If you go through the new cars, I'm going to show you quickly. The Ram 2500 and the Mercedes CLS are not buyable in the dealership. We'll cycle through every single car in the game just to show that they're not buyable for all new players who... I see them get sold for dirt cheap all the time. But the thing is, you can't buy them. If you sell it, you can't buy it back unless you get it from another player who is selling it. You cannot buy them in the dealership. They're not a paid car. They're not in-game currency cars. You can only get them on your first and second week from the daily rewards. That is the only way you can get them without buying them from another player. So, and they do not come back around. They only come once. The CLS and the RAM 2500, you only get them on your first and second week. After that, you will never get them ever again unless you buy it from another player. So if you sell it, it is gone forever unless you buy it from another player. You cannot buy it from the dealership. You get them for free, yes. They are free and anybody can have them because it's what you get for your daily rewards after the first and second week. And then it will cycle into the 1000 golds and the 500 golds. But as you can see, we're even getting up to the 5000 golds and we still haven't seen them because they're not in the dealership. You cannot buy them. So you can only get them from the weekly reward, daily reward system. Ends at the F1, okay? Now we go premium. Not premium. No premium, because premium will count for all of our paid cars as well. Or at least it should. Hold on, special cars. Special cars should show all of our paid cars. Yes. It shows all of our paid cars. Except for the i7 because I already own that one. Or no. No, yeah, here's our i7. Your very first paid car you buy, you will get for $4.99. It is a special, it comes around. So, what I recommend, pick whichever paid car you like the most. At the time that I picked mine, I only had the options between the i7, the Defender, the F40, and I think the Formula 2, maybe? I don't remember. Either way, I ended up picking the i7 because I like the i7, which is why my i7 is as fine as it is. But that is why I recommend keeping the here's my i7, as we already looked at it. High quality logos. I am the original owner, did it all myself, bought it myself. I paid for $4 and some cents. Your first premium car, your first paid car that you buy is $4 Canadian. Okay? You get it on discount. I believe it's $4.29 that it comes to. You get it on discount. Your first paid car. It doesn't matter which paid car it is. You will get it for a discount, and you will get it for $4 and I think 29 cents, but it could be a little bit more. $4 Canadian. The Red Rock Garage costs $12.99 Canadian, from what I remember. It's $12 garage, Canadian. I don't know what that translates to USD. But that's how you make your money. So I use all of my cash for tuning and for buying cars off of other people. I only buy from the public sales slots that we were just looking at. Also, here's my Bentley. It is a rally tune, as you can see. Yeah, the Bentley we did for NOS had 3 times the horsepower this has. And we are running the N74 V12. If we go here, X out V8 options, N74 V12. And it makes about 600 horsepower stock and can exceed 800 horsepower with mods. And we're making how much? We are very much turned down. Why? Because it's a rally tune. Not just that, but the reality is 95% of people are making way more horsepower than they're able to use. Consider how many times you have to let off the accelerator in order to take a corner. Consider how long you have to stay off the accelerator before you can get back on the accelerator after taking a corner. High horsepower only makes that longer. So it's better that you have less horsepower and you can be more aggressive with your accelerator because you'll have far better handling than someone who doesn't. Just like all those AI that we were just racing against. They can't take a corner worth shit. And if they were to try, they would spin out. Because they're pushing way more power than their car can handle. Than their tires can handle. That's the thing. Your tires will not hold up as much as Jesus. Bit of a clusterfuck of people there. I love having... Oh my god. Okay, can you fucking not? Holy fuck. You guys suck. You're all assholes. Not surprising though. 4.5 million for a 500 gold Kia Stinger. Right? So why would you sell it for 62,500 when you can come and sell it for 100,000 and you'd be selling for a way lesser price than everybody else is asking for? That Chevy Square Body up there that was selling for 1 million? That's not even a gold vehicle. It's a cash truck. You can buy that from the dealership for cash, fully stock, for less. I'm going to wrap this up quickly because I have other things I have to tend to, and we have to get back to perk, and I have real world things I got to manage as well. But yeah, that's our Bentley. This is how you make your cash, your gold. I recommend using cash for tuning. I recommend always having 1 million on the side. Most people are selling cars for outrageous prices. I recommend just grinding your daily Le Mans and buying it from the dealership yourself. Because we just made 1,000 gold, and I just proved to you guys that you can do it AFK while watching Netflix. So why not just watch Netflix and save for 10 days? 10 days! And you can buy every single supercar and hypercar in the game that isn't a paid car. Every single one of them. After 10 days. It only takes 10 days of saving. 10 days! Not even a full 2 weeks, and you can buy a Koenigsegg Jesko, a Bugatti Chiron, a McLaren 720, a Ferrari 458, a McLaren P1, a Koenigsegg Agera. Whatever you want. Guess what? 15 days, 1 extra day over the 2 weeks, and you can get the Formula 1 car. Now, I do not know what the difference is, but people say that that one is the Formula 1 car, and that this one is the Formula 2 car. I don't know what the difference is between the two. clearly they visually look different, and clearly they're different cars, but I'm not sure what specifically makes this one a Formula 2 and that one a Formula 1. I'm not a formula specialist, I'm not a motorsports specialist. I have a little bit of knowledge on motorsports here and there, but I am definitely not a specialist or anything like that. I'm not sure what makes one category Formula 1 and another category Formula 2. I'm not sure. In my opinion, it's all just formula. So, yeah. You can, get anything you want, realistically, from just grinding the daily Le Mans. And here's the thing. Say you want a paid car, but you don't have money real world. Say you're like me and you don't have very much real life money to put into video games. Here's what you do. Buy something nice, okay? Buy something nice and make it look nice. Like this. This is only a 5,000 gold car. I could trade this for a paid car. If I wanted a Yaris, which I do, I could trade this for a Yaris. Why? Because I hand painted it, made it look really, really nice. This is actually a rally tune. And I could trade this for a paid car, 100%. I've had offers. That's why I'm saying this, is because I've had offers. Event cars. Say you want an event car, but you missed the event. You could simply buy the F1 car after 15 days of saving, and somebody out there would have the event car you're looking for and be wanting a Formula 1 car, and they would deem it worth the equivalency, because it's 15,000 gold, right? So, buy something super, super high value that is wanted and desired, and trade that. If, make it look nice, do what you can to get it to match the value of what you're wanting. There are many people who would trade a paid car for this just because they know that they can't do this themselves. The paintwork I've done to this is 100% custom, hand-painted, done by me. Nobody else has a Ford GT like this. It doesn't exist. This is a one-of-one, and it's a rally tune as well. So, it's quite desired when I'm driving it around. Most of my vehicles are, because I put a lot of work and time and effort into my vehicles. So, when you want something that you know you can't get on your own, build something that someone else can't get on their own. And even if you don't have the skills to build something that other people can't build, buy something other people don't want to grind. Not many people want to save for 15 days just to get a formula car. Right? But if you do that, you have a far better chance of trading that formula car for a paid car or some other very nice looking, highly desired vehicle that you want, because somebody else will want what you have but not want to work for it. So, if you want something bad enough, do the work for something else that you can trade for that something that you want. And that's how you get the super nice cars. If you're not able to build them or do them yourself, get something else that you can trade for them, right? There's always a workaround for getting something that you want when someone else has it. Sometimes you'll find people with things that they just simply won't let go of. This GT, my personal car, I won't let go of. Same with this C6. Most of my cars, I will not part with because I love them deeply. I put a lot of work into them. I put a lot of time into them. I put a lot of knowledge into them. And you cannot replicate them. Nobody can build this GT without seeing the exact tune that I have on it, right? So, it is a one-of-one. It is unique, and it is mine, and I am not going to part with it, right? I have it done into perfection. It is My Dark Knight. For anybody who can't read that license plate, that is what that says. It is My Dark Knight. I nicknamed it My Dark Knight because it gave off Dark Knight vibes. So, this is my Dark Knight. It is my rally car. My Ford GT rally car. I will show you. I'm thinking of lightly stiffening, maybe, just to give it a bit more ride height. Maybe go to the 8s in the stiffness, just to get that suspension travel up there a little bit more. As you can see, it already is higher off the ground than your average Ford GT. But I would like to increase its height a little bit more, so that it's on more equal footing of my C6 and my Viper, which are also rally tunes. And this is just a very simplified Viper, right? Just a very simple black and yellow Viper. But nobody else has it. Nobody else has a yellow rally-tuned Dodge Viper. But I do. I have a yellow rally-tuned Dodge Viper GTS. And nobody else has that. It's only a 2500 gold car. It only takes 3 days to get if you're doing Le Mans. And that's if you're not completing these challenges, which pay you 300 gold a day if you complete all of them. So you can get it in 2 days if you complete all of your challenges and daily Le Mans. Right? So it's not hard to get, but because of what I've done to it, it's hard to replicate and it's hard to get. Because nobody else has one that's done up for rally, right? Nobody has a Dodge Viper that they're comfortable bombing the trails in. I do. Nobody else has that. So, when you have something that nobody else has, or a version of something that nobody else has, it becomes a lot more desired. Nobody else has a blue Corvette with a carbon fiber hood, carbon fiber roof, and blacked out headlights that's also on a rally tune. Everybody who's driven this car has wanted to keep it. And you can ask some of my friends who have driven this car, like Chucky. They very much so love this car. Chucky actually drove this car more than he drove either of the other two. I let him drive all 3 of these, the Viper, the C6, and that GT. This is the one he enjoyed driving the most. How do I know? Because he drove this one for like an hour, while he drove the other two for like 30 minutes? He very much so liked the C6 compared... I don't know if he liked the C6 drastically more than the other two, but it was very clear that he liked the C6 more so than he liked the Viper GT. Now, mind you, he probably likes the way the GT looks more than the Viper because it's much more unique and much more appealing to the eye in terms of design intricacy, because this is quite simple work. This is carbon fiber and blacked out headlights on a base blue. This is racing stripes, blacked out tail, blacked out skirts, blacked out front bumper. You know, it's got a lot more intricacy. So, yeah, it's really simple in terms of how to get something that you wouldn't normally be able to get, or that you would normally need money to get. There's always a way around it. And if you can find the right way around it, sorry, not the white way around it, Jesus Christ, oh my god. Oh, Jesus, please, no, I'm sorry, that is not what I meant to say. If you can find the right way around it, you can get what you're wanting, right? So, that's where we're going to wrap up for now. That is how you get the things you want to get, and that is how you make money and gold easily in CPM2. And I hope this is helpful, and I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one, which will likely be with, Perk running CarX. So, I will see you guys when we get there. And I hope you all have enjoyed, and I will see you next time.